More than 1 million African Americans, men and women, served in the U.S. branch of the U.S. Armed Forces during World War II. In addition, battling forces of fascism aboard these Americans also battled racism in the United States and in the U.S. military. The Army, the Navy, the Marines segregated African Americans into separate units because the belief they were not capable as the white service members. Adding this integrity, the Army frequently assigned white officers from the South, from the American South, to combat black infantrymen. Major General Thomas Holcomb represented being the force to accept African Americans into the corps. And unlikely, the Army, the Marines Corps did not permit any black men to become officers until November 1945. Black units were also used basically in every battle, but at the beginning of World War II, they were only used for cooks, servants, and other things. In branches of the armed forces, and historically had different policies regarding racial segregation. Prior to World War II, 4,000 blacks served in the armed forces. Blacks served with discrimination in their country. By developing troops aboard soldiers and emissaries of American democracy, the military literally exported the African American freedom struggle. During World War II, African American enlistment was at an all-time high, with more than 1 million serving in the armed forces. And while white men would be very mean to black men, African Americans were restricted to lower level jobs. African Americans could not enlist in Air Corps or Marine, or could not be a Marine. All blacks units were trained to cook, servants, and laborers. The White House tried to adjust the conflicting demands and the civil rights leaders. The White House tried to adjust the conflict demands between civil rights leaders and the Army traditionalists, eager to placate and willing a compromise. President Franklin D. Roosevelt sought occupation